Welcome back to some new I Don't Work Here lady stories. The first story is called A Karen Gets It the Karen Way. On this fine Saturday, I went to pick up some groceries. As I'm shopping with my trolley, I hear the harumph of an approaching Karen behind me. But to my surprise, she walks straight past me to this nicely dressed customer, demanding this, that, and the other. The guy responds with, "Sorry, but I don't work here." As Karen starts accusing him of lying, I figure that I'll stick around and see what happens. It might be funny. But if she attacks the guy or accuses him of something, I'll be a witness. As I'm listening to the guy reiterate that he doesn't work there, and Karen repeatedly accuses him of lying, another customer comes past. The customer addresses the Karen in a big booming voice, "Finally, a manager. Some woman just accused me of not helping her when I'm a customer here. Now, what are you going to do about it?" Oh, the irony. Karen turns to him and says, "What, I'm not a manager. What do you?" But she gets cut off mid-sentence by this hilarious customer, "Of course you're a manager. I've seen you talking to customers. Now you are going to help me." Karen tries to explain that she was talking to this guy who she says works there. But in the confusion, he had wisely ducked out, leaving Karen saying, "I was talking to," as she gestures at an empty space. Suddenly she is alone. The customer said, "Well, hanging around speaking to staff isn't very professional, is it? You should be doing your job, helping customers. Tarding with me." Karen then just screams, "I don't work here." She walks off, clearly upset, abandoning her shopping trolley in the process. The other guy, who's been waiting on the next aisle, walks back at this point, and says, "Is she gone?" "Yes, that got rid of her." He smiles vaguely and just continues shopping as if nothing had happened. The next story is called This Wild Karen Doesn't Learn. I work as an assistant manager at a pizzeria. My job is a little bit of everything. Yesterday, a paper towel dispenser wasn't working. After a bit of checking, I found that the batteries that powered it were dead. We didn't have any spares in the restaurant, so I took my motorcycle to my local grocery store down the road. I go in and swerve past all the people doing their dinner time shopping. After years of stopping at the store, many of the employees know me as the dude who works at the pizza place down the road. Today, I'm in full uniform, wearing jeans and a black shirt that has bits of flour on the shoulders. The logo of the pizza company is plastered on my chest as well as the middle of my red apron. I go to the location of the batteries, which is a counter between check stands 3 and 4, and begin looking for batteries. Before I can reach out and grab my choice, I hear a voice from behind me. I look around and see a wild Karen. She says, "Excuse me, do you have any toilet paper?" So I tell her, "I'm sorry, I don't work here, but I think they're on aisle 12. Karen was huffing, "Well, are you going to take me there?" So I again said, "I'm sorry, but I don't work here." And then, I grabbed my batteries. Karen wasn't having it. "Don't lie to me, you're wearing an apron." Just then, a cashier who I know opened check stand 4. I swerve past Karen and place my batteries on the conveyor belt. The cashier said, "Hey pizza guy, how's it going?" And Karen interrupts, "Excuse me, I want to complain about this rude employee of yours." She points a finger at me. "He won't show me where the toilet paper is." I turn to Karen and repeat myself, "Ma'am, I don't work here." And Karen asks, "Then why are you wearing an apron?" So I point to the pizzeria logo on my apron. "I work at pizzeria down the road, I don't work here. I just came here for batteries." And the cashier says, "The batteries come to $11. So I pay for the batteries and turn to Karen one last time. "The toilet paper is on aisle 12, have a nice day." And with that, I walk out. At the end of the night, I go back to the grocery store with a box of pepperoni pizza. I see the cashier closing a register and we have a laugh as she tells me that this is not the first time that this particular Karen has mistaken a customer for an employee. The third story is called I Got Fired Twice. In 2014, I was working at a pizza chain in a rural Utah farming town. At the beginning of July, I gave a 2-week notice to my manager that I'd be leaving to move out of state to be closer to family and a better job market. I finished out my time as promised, moved, found a new, better job, and that was that. Of course, that wasn't the end of it. In the summer of 2015, I received a call from a new store manager. He informed me that he's been putting me on schedule and it was unacceptable that I wasn't even coming in to look. If I didn't show up today, he would have no choice but to fire me. I asked, did the old manager not take me out of the system after I quit last year? He grumbled and made some snarky complaint that if I had quit a year ago, I wouldn't be in his scheduling program. I let him know I live in a completely different state, am working a completely different job, and would not be showing up for any shifts he scheduled me for. He threatened to fire me again, and I reiterated, "Hey, I don't actually work for you, so do what you want." He hung up, and that was the last I heard of it, or so I thought. Yesterday, I received a letter from the corporate office informing me that, per their records, I haven't shown up to work since July 2014. Unfortunately, they were going to have to terminate me. I still almost can't stop laughing, especially since, they sent the letter to the address I gave them when I quit. The last story is called. Yesterday, I was told by my dad to stop by his work and change my tires from winter to summer ones. I arrived just when they were having lunch, so maybe that's why things had to come to the point they came. I loaded the tires and tools on a cart and moved it closer to my car. Around 5 minutes into, a car I have never seen arrives. It looked really strange because it was the typical family SUV with a female coming out of it. The parking space for customers is in front of my dad's work, not behind it. So, I'm looking at what is she going to do. When she came close enough to me, she could hear my car radio blasting, so she gestured to lower the volume. So that's exactly what I did. I asked, "Can I help you?" And Karen said, "Yes, when can I come and pick my car up?" I didn't know what she meant. So I said, "Whenever you want, I guess." Karen said, "Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to buy some stuff and will be back in 15 minutes. She then proceeds to leave the keys on my cart and walks off. By now, I'm kind of confused because I didn't understand what she wanted from me. I assumed she wanted me to look after her car because it's quite common that other people bump their doors into your car and just leave. So, I didn't take that as a problem since it was parked a few meters from me. After maybe 30 minutes, she comes back with 2 bags. She asked, "Are the tires changed?" And I asked, "What tires?" Karen explained, "The tires on my car, of course. Have you changed them already?" For clarification, I can get angry pretty fast if people talk to me like I'm beneath them, but it takes a lot more to make me lose it. I said to her, "Why the heck would I change your tires?" Karen said, "Because you already pulled tires out of your shop and have the tools out too, so that means you're open for business." At this point, I realized what was going on. I asked her, "Do I look like I'm an auto shop?" And at this point, Karen made a big mistake. She cursed me out and tells me to change her tires. This is the point where I snapped. Let me just tell you that the Czech language is very rich in swear words and we can make a swear almost out of any word. I told her, "You sack of poo, who do you think you are, or who do you think you are talking to? You better get the heck out of here before I shove the jack right up your behind." Karen was shocked. "How dare you to speak like that to me? You're lucky my husband isn't with me, otherwise, he would mess you up. Now get the heck to changing my tires before I slap your ugly face. Now my dad is coming out from the back door because you wouldn't hear us screaming only if you were deaf." He asked, "What is going on?" And Karen screams, "Your employee is refusing to change my tires and is being very rude and disrespectful to me. He said, he is not our employee and we don't change tires. What the heck are you doing back here anyway?" Karen said, "I'm here to get my tires changed because my stupid husband doesn't know how to do it." It is interesting how her husband went from messing me up to not being able to change stupid tires. Dad said, "We are not an auto shop, so shut up and leave our parking yard." I should say that I was still holding a pipe from my jack because otherwise, I would already smack her. Karen screams, "So, you are rude, disrespectful, and confusing me instead of telling me that you're not an auto shop?" At this point, I saw her getting ready to slap me. So I did the most simple and probably the best thing I could do. I just raised my hand, so when she was already in motion of hitting me, she hit the pipe. After that, she screamed, ran to her car, and just drove off. When she was backing up, I got a look on her plate. Unsurprisingly, she was from Prague. People from Prague usually get lost in small cities or villages. When my dad asked what the heck that was, I just answered, "Just another idiot from Prague," and we had a laugh about it. And just for clarification, no, she couldn't get hurt much because the impact of her hand on the pipe wasn't even strong enough for me to lose grip of it. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.